In this presentation, I'm going to go through how to check the grade that you've put on your pipe using your spirit levels. We'll go through a 2-foot level, a 1-foot grade and pitch level, and a torpedo level. Remember in earlier lessons we discussed calculating grade. Now we're going to do the pipe installation, and you need to be able to check that grade. As you can see, the table is set up level, but you wouldn't have a level surface like this if you were installing the pipe up in hangars or down in a ditch, right? You would position the pipe, adjust your hangers with the approximate grade that you wanted, and you would need to be able to check that. Now, remember from our earlier discussions, if this pipe that I've cut here, which it is 3 feet in length, and we wanted to grade this pipe at 1/4 of an inch per foot, or approximately 2%, then over a 3-foot run, the gap on this end right here would be 3/4 of an inch if it was graded at 1/4 of an inch per foot. And I've preset this pipe up to have that gap right now. So based on our calculations, this would be approximately a 2% grade, or 1/4 of an inch per foot. Now, you wouldn't have, like I said, you wouldn't have this level surface when you were hanging the pipe in the air. So you would need to check that. So if you're using our 2-foot level, you can see when we place it on the pipe, it now shows on the spirit vial that the pipe is pitched. Now, how to check that? Well, the level is 2 feet in length. So again, at 1/4 of an inch per foot grade, then the gap that you have, if you lift the level on this one end right here, until the spirit is reading level, the gap on this end should be 1/2 an inch, right? And many plumbers will actually have a preset spacer that they could tape right onto their level if they're doing a lot of installation of drainage piping and checking the grade. So now you can see with the 1/2 inch spacer on the end that the spirit is in fact reading that the level is level, when in fact, as we know, the pipe, as you can see, is pitched. Now, another grade that comes up in larger building drains is occasionally 1/8 of an inch per foot, or 1%. So again, if I have my 3-foot pipe and I was graded at 1/8 of an inch per foot, then the gap on this end would be 3/8 of an inch. Now I'll take out my preset spacer and I'll drop this down to 3/8 of an inch. And again, you can see that my level, when I just place it on there, shows that the pipe is sloped. Not as much off of the level as it was previously. Now again, to check that, if I'm trying to achieve 1% or 1/8 of an inch per foot, then over a 2-foot run, which is the length of this level, the gap on this end should be 1/4 of an inch. Right? So if I put a 1/4 of an inch spacer underneath of there, you can see that the level is reading as if it was level. So I have the correct pitch on the pipe. So you would make those adjustments by either lifting or lowering your hanger rod assembly, or removing or replacing some sand if you were doing an in-the-ground installation, until you had the appropriate pitch that you're trying to achieve. Another tool that's handy for checking is your torpedo level. Right? Very handy. You can have it in your pocket for checking. It's not going to be as accurate as a 2-foot level, right? Because you can see that there it is perfectly level, and with the slope on there, you can see that the bubble is just off to the side. As I say, it's not as accurate because with just a little bit of movement, it can actually slide on past that point. It's not designed for actual grade checking, but many plumbers will use it for initial rough setting and then take out their 2-foot level to go along and do their final adjustments. Now, another very good level that we've supplied you in your toolboxes is a 1-foot grade or pitch level. Now this level, you can see, if you look more closely, I'll start it on the level surface here, and you see that our level vial is between the lines, our bubble is between the lines. And the way that this level works is if you look closely at the pitch vial right here, you can see that there is 5 lines on there, on that vial. And the bubble is just touching the edge of the first line when it is set level. The next line will be our 1% or our 1/8 of an inch per foot. Then we will have 1/4 of an inch per foot, 3/8 of an inch per foot, and 1/2 an inch per foot. You'll see when I place it onto the previously graded 1/8 of an inch per foot or 1% grade pipe that we were using before, you can see that this bubble is off to the side, and our grade bubble, the edge of the bubble is just touching the edge of the second line. If you could read the increments in there, you would see that it actually says 1/8 on that particular first line. And if I increased the pipe grade to 1/4 of an inch per foot, you see that the edge of the bubble is now touching the next line. So you will have to demonstrate these techniques that I've showed you to your instructor when you do your project installation. I encourage you to get a piece of pipe, practice with a 2-foot level. You're going to have to explain how you would check for the different grade, 1%, 2%, even 1/2 an inch per foot, right? So I would suggest that you practice with the 2-foot level before you do the project so that you can explain that to your instructor. You have the grade and pitch level, which is an excellent tool for using, but we also want you to be able to use a basic 2-foot level to explain and to test and check for the grade. Thank you.